Hey ho superhumans, welcome back to our channel and another video. I'm Lori, and today I'm really excited to talk about these 4 main biggest traps that we keep falling into day after day that really take us away from our freedom, and how to drop down out of those now. A big thank you to all our new subscribers. I really appreciate you being here. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're getting value from these videos, please do subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified of our videos as soon as they come out. So of course, here on this channel, the whole goal is to really help bring the practical ways, the how to actually really step into, recognize, and rediscover our own truth, our aliveness, and our freedom within. And so one of the biggest traps in doing that is to really be waiting for this big Eureka moment, for this big moment of enlightenment. This is actually part of this social conditioning. It's not part of our truth. It's part of imagination. It's something that somebody has told us. It's something that we've read. It's something that is not real. And so we keep in this trap of waiting for this actual Eureka moment to happen. Some of us sit to meditate, or maybe we're doing TRE or other things, many practices out there that we're doing with the anticipation or the waiting for this particular thing to happen. Where in reality, true enlightenment can be something so subtle and so simple that happens in the moment, particularly in moments where we actually recognize and really make a distinction between our truth and some kind of mind thing that's really convinced us over the years to believe, but is not true, that's been really putting us down. So to really recognize that in those moments, that is enlightenment. Whenever you recognize your truth that way. But when we're stuck in the trap of it's supposed to look this way, the skies are supposed to open up, or I'm supposed to see all white, or whatever it is that we've been taught to imagine, we miss those moments and we stay in that loop in the mind and aren't able to recognize, discover, explore, and enjoy these moments. That then gives us evidence of what is here, because we miss the whole thing. The second biggest trap that we fall into is really waiting and believing that something should be different than what is happening now. So the social conditioning is we're so enmeshed with it, with this imagination and this view of how things should be, and then I can be happy. When I have more money, when I have a better relationship, when I have more freedom, when I have a better job, when, rather than really recognizing that whatever is happening now would not be happening unless it was needing to be. Just really trusting in that and aligning with what is here. Otherwise, we are caught in a trap of always needing things to be different, to be different, to be different. Rediscover for yourself what that means. If I tell you what that means and how that feels, then what's going to happen is it still becomes in that net, right, that we keep talking about. It still becomes part of that social conditioning that we are here living, but it is not us. We're not to identify with it and take shape around it. We are just here to witness it. And so if there's a part of our imagination that looks at how it's supposed to look to align with the present moment, then we're still in that same trap. So the way to do this is just to really notice when your feelers, your energy, everything is out there, and just continue to practice exploring how does it feel to just turn it around and really bring it here, and really feel your existence and really notice that you are a witness to all of this. Come back and realize how before you were given a name and all of this information of who you were supposed to be, how you were supposed to be, and your nervous system came on to protect you from all kinds of things, and before all of that happened, you were this neutral, complete, whole existence. You still are that. You can't leave that. The third biggest trap is that we're really bought in to certain feelings, emotions, sensations, situations that make us feel really good or really bad. And so it's just repeated every day, over and over and over again. If somebody gives me a compliment, if somebody approves an idea that I have, if somebody takes the time to sit and talk with me and tell me how they feel about me, maybe those are situations that are really imprinted for me that tell me that it's a good day or it's a good moment. And then there's other types of situations, things that happen that really get you. And on days where those types of things happen, if people are, driving terribly on the road, or somebody that you really love doesn't contact you, or you find out about a bill that you have to pay, whatever it is, then you're really attached and connected to these situations that either make you feel really good or really bad. So just to really continue to look at what kinds of situations really change our mood, because it's so imprinted, it's so automatic that we don't recognize how these external situations are making us go like this all day. Once we're the witness of our energy going up and down like this all day, then we're free from that. And we don't need those things. We don't need the positive things to happen to make us have a good day or to allow us to feel good and be okay with what's here. And whenever the negative things start to happen, we're more able just to watch them and know that they're just passing, and that it's not really contaminating or really affecting who we are or our day or our energy. The fourth biggest trap is really how much control we still have. We think it is normal, and it's supposed to be, that we plan every moment, we have all of our goals, we have all the what ifs taken care of, and that's going to bring us safety. But that is really a false safety. Life is always trying to happen for us in every moment. Life is taking care of us. But we have, again, in our imagination, in this social conditioning, we have all of these terrible things that can happen if we don't do enough to take care of ourselves, if we don't take good enough time and care to really be responsible. And that's true, of course, to a certain extent, but really being aware of how much our future is part of our imagination, of imagining how, okay, if I do it this way, that's going to happen. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. There's no way to know. Anything in the future is really just something that is created in our mind. So each time noticing that, okay, I'm out there imagining, okay, when this happens, I'm looking out there, to really just bring that attention back to saying, but this is where I am now. This is the only moment of actual existence where I can actually take an action, do something that is going to have a real impact. So the number one way to drop down out of these traps is to really start to recognize for yourself, what is your personal ways, indicators, evidence that's letting you know that something is up. You're either into really comparing yourself, or your mood is really changing, or you're starting to withdraw, or you're starting to move a lot quicker, or you're starting to tense up, or you're starting to, your mind, you notice, is really, really busy. Whatever it is for you, how do you actually recognize that this is on? Because right now it's coming on and on and on and on and on, and we're not recognizing it. We just see it as normal, but we're really going to stop and recognize it. So just discover, what are your first ways. You might actually even see it coming sometimes. You might notice it as holding your breath, something physical. You might notice it as clenching your gut. You might notice it as your gaze goes up or your chin goes up. Something is happening, so just try to recognize that earlier and earlier sign. When you've got the sign and you recognize something, do something about it, reverse it, break this pattern, recalibrate this. And this is by usually doing some kind of physical movement is much easier. If we do something like coming back to the breath, it's going to help also. If we talk to ourselves and tell ourselves this is not real, that's good. But whatever you've been doing already, add something to it. And usually it's something physical that we can add to it is going to be really useful. Because it's harder to go into your mind and find the positive words. And if it's something you've been doing is talking to yourself that way, and it's helped to a certain extent, we want to deepen that, and we don't want to just intellectualize that. So doing something physical is more tangible to be able to do in the moment. If it's just swinging around, tapping yourself, walking, throwing water on your face, it doesn't matter what it is. This is that type of in-the-moment grounding that we do. So this, along with our TRE, that's creating space, and these grounding techniques that we can do now that we have the space to recognize what it is that we need right now to recalibrate and really change the route that our neurons have been firing. And this is really, really massive. So it doesn't matter what the physical movement is that you do. There's some videos here. There's all kinds on YouTube in terms of actual things that you can do physically. Then really notice the change. Keep grounding, keep doing these techniques until you feel a change. Once the change is there, really bring evidence to it. Really notice so that it really becomes proof then that, wait a second, if I was able to watch this come on, and I was able to do something, and now I actually feel more distance from it, and I feel a bit lighter than I did, and it doesn't feel as strong, I've just proven to myself this is not me. This is something that comes on so strong that I've identified for so long with that I was believing it was me. And then just continuing to practice this over and over again each time this happens is the best way you will ever spend your time. And you will really recognize the difference, and it's immediate. As soon as you're able to do this, something positive happens. That's why in those positive moments, we still want to continue to notice that those aren't us either. This way, it really keeps us the witness of being able to enjoy and watch things and not get too tied up in our negative situations and just stay more stable and centered, even keeled, so that we're not just thrown about all day within our nervous system, within the way how we're acting and how we're feeling is not as affected. So we're more consistent, knowing that we're whole and perfect right now, just as we are. So thanks loads for joining me today. I really trust that this has been able to help you rediscover your own truth, your aliveness, and your freedom within. And it's taken all this stuff that I'm sure you know, and we all know, but taking it from this intellectual part and really helping us integrate it, bring it into our moments, bring it into our power right now, so that we have the choice to choose our freedom within. So do check out our free events below. Do join us so that we can connect and actually do some work together. We would love to meet you. Thanks again, and see you on the next video. Bye-bye.